It's that time again! Go for Broke, Philly's most stacked Street Fighter 6 monthly tournament. And I went 1-2 this month, which was overall very disappointing, my worst win-loss ratio in a long time, but I lost to two incredibly strong players, one of which was easily the craziest offline set I've ever played. And I got a win on Ken. So let's get into what went wrong, what went right, and all of the nitty-gritty in between. So my first opponent was an Ed player that I had never seen before, never played against before, and Ed is a really uncomfortable matchup for Marissa. I've been working on it, but it's uncomfortable, so I figured I'll just run Ken. He has better overall tools, it's easier to deal with the unknown on a character that stresses me out, on a character that's a little more equipped. So I went with Ken. I figured I'd switch off Ken after game 1 if it went really badly. But I got a pretty good feel for him pretty early here, that he was mostly going to try to zone me out, and once I got in on him, he was very panicky and mashy on defense. I could kind of just wait for him to burn a lot of his meter and or jump. And as long as I paid attention to be able to DP appropriately, whether he jumped over my head or at me from a more appropriate range, I was going to be fine. Here, things did kind of turn around. He got me in the corner, but he's in burnout and he's very mashy. I was able to jump over his head and then waited half a second to kind of see what he was going to do, and he panicked and threw out a super, and I was able to kill him without spending any super meter on the kill. So at this point, after round 1, I'm like, oh, I've definitely got this. I just need to stay calm, and if suddenly he locks in and dramatically changes his play style, then I need to adapt accordingly. I don't want to get overconfident. That was a couple of missed inputs there. I meant to do a medium DP, not a medium kick, and then the OD DP was a complete accident. I got very lucky that he was still mashing and it hit him. I almost threw this round because now I'm in burnout, and that was not at all what I meant to do, but I was able to keep my corner pressure going. He did very appropriately react to the medium Jinrai with DI, which put me in a bad situation, but once again, he burnt himself out, and I was out of burnout. I should have anti-aired that. That was terrible. But even so, he's jumping a lot. I have all the resources, he doesn't. So I'm just waiting out for a good opportunity to react to something because he keeps hitting buttons. I found my modern super opening, I avoided throwing the round, and killed him with my level 3. So now I'm like, okay, if I let him start just running shenanigans, I can absolutely still lose rounds here. That was uncomfortably close. But if I stay calm and focus on anti-airs and pressuring him into doing something nuclear or just beating out his mashing when he's on defense, I'll be fine. He walked himself straight to the corner, then bum rushed me, and I accidentally let him out of the corner, but Tatsu puts him right back in the corner, Street Fighter 6. Baited the DP, put him back in the corner. He's trying to mash his way out again, so I'm able to just kind of continue pressuring. I really should have continued pressing there instead of trying to throw. I reflexively rotate between buttons and throws, but against somebody who's mashing, there's really no reason to go for throws. I could just go for counter hits, so I should have been a little more button heavy. This is set point here. I could have gotten a much better trade that I accidentally did not get off of that. If you get the counter hit trade with heavy Dragon Lash on block, because they mashed, I could have actually gone into stand heavy punch and gotten a much bigger combo extension there. But he's still panicking on defense, and now here I just went ahead and continued to repeat my sequence, figure if he supers, he supers, but I got him. And now a quick break to thank this video's sponsor, Zenni Gaming. Zenni has been a leading online glasses company since 2003, when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was released. With over 50 million pairs sold, Zenni offers prescription sunglasses, sports glasses, blue light glasses for gaming, safety glasses, and just regular old glasses, so you can look like Marissa Outfit 2, Aki Outfit 3, whatever you want. And unlike costumes in Street Fighter 6, Zenni is always releasing new fits, all for a fraction of what glasses would cost at an offline store. You can even virtually try them on with your device's camera before you buy. Use promo code GLADIUS to get 10% off your Zenni purchase while supporting the channel. Link is in the description. With such low-cost eyewear, you can find something to match every cosplay or esports jersey. The possibilities are as endless as Ken Main's downplay. Thanks for watching the ad. Now back to the video. So my next match is against a Rashid player that I have also never seen before, never met before. I found out later that he's in the area for the summer, so I'll likely be seeing more of him, but I had no idea what I was getting into. I don't think Rashid is any worse a matchup for Marissa than many of the others that are bad, so I decided to just go Marissa. I did appropriately react to him charging the win there with DI, and then drop my combo. I hate to say this because it really sounds like an excuse, but this setup felt really weird, and I had several odd drops on this setup that I really don't have, like, ever anymore, unless I'm catastrophically nervous, which I wasn't. And my opponent also said that the setup felt a little underwater after the fact. I don't know what it was about this particular monitor. But either way, so it goes. I have my drop. I get my pressure going again. I successfully get a hit there, then another weird combo drop. I have no idea how I got that input. Things are pretty even here. He burns himself out, but he has level 2. So this is still kind of a scary situation because of the Rashid level 2 being able to turn things around. And he cross-up jumped me as I was attempting to block out the level 2. An overall theme of this set is that when I am blocking level 2, I am very much focused on I'm just going to block it out, I'm not going to attack, I'm not going to get baited, but I end up falling victim to cross-ups or overheads because I'm so focused on telling myself not to panic and just down back. So I need to pay more attention to what's actually happening on screen instead of then the opponent just being able to do things that beat down back when they recognize my habit. That was a good super on my part. There was no way for him to cancel out of that, and I was in a very precarious drive meter situation in the corner, so I wanted to get my meter back and get pressure going again. Plus, he'd spent 2 bars in round 1, so I could afford to spend some meter here. Great bait on my part. And did I kill here, or did I have a drop? Did not quite kill there. I'm not sure if that was a drop. I think it was. I'm lucky that I was able to get the jabs through the DI there. I think I meant to go for a different ender there that I just didn't get and didn't quite kill him. Again, weird drops on this setup, but it goes to final round. I'm again kind of waiting after I get my big charged plus frames to see what he's going to do. And this should have been a very good situation for me. How did I lose this round? Another drop! I meant to go into Gladius there and just did not get the Gladius, and he was able to back up and set up level 2. And you see the exact same situation happen here, where I try really hard to down back, and I get hit by the overhead, and he gets a huge combo off that overhead into level 2. So this is now a very scary situation. I decided not to hold the gas and go for wake up drive reversal. The worst part is right before I did it, I thought, if I'm wrong, this is going to lose the round. And I did it anyway. And I was wrong and I lost the round. So I'm a little tilted at this point because of the drops really throwing the game for me, but I'm just like, okay, I'm going to stay calm and I'm going to try to bring this back. And he does a really effective job controlling space overall. I am able to bulldoze him a bit on offense. I'm successfully doing Superman over a lot of the wind, then he spaced himself correctly and was able to beat that approach. Catches me low, standing up. I think I'm kind of subconsciously standing up more because I keep getting hit by overheads, and then he adjusted and started hitting me low because I started stand blocking a lot and got screwed in the corner there. This is set point for him. I'm definitely freaking out a little bit now. The other main theme that I'm seeing in this set is that I, again, am only anti-airing really with Gladius. I'm not doing a lot of air-to-airs, and I'm still not using crouch heavy punch. And that's something I've been drilling a ton in the lab to try to get it into my muscle memory, which I will, but unfortunately it's not quite in my muscle memory yet. And there are multiple situations like that one here, where you see that I went for anti-air Gladius at the wrong range, and he was able to cross me up or something and put me in a bad situation. He again sets up level 2, and then I try to stand block, I get hit low, I go back to crouch block, he does the overhead and kills me for it. Great awareness from him. Did you know that I'm now a brand ambassador for AdvancedGG? Advanced was founded by 2 gamers in 2018, when Street Fighter V Arcade Edition was released. Advanced offers formulas for focus and hydration too, but my personal favorite is their energy drinks, with over 19 wild flavors to choose from. I'm talking mango lemonade, strawberry shortcake, taro bubble tea, and more. Personally, when I tried the original Ramune, I was hooked. What's even better is that unlike many competing brands, Advanced always promises no added sugar, no artificial colors, and no uncomfortable crash when the energy boost wears off, as compared to chemical-heavy alternatives. Each 16-ounce serving of Advanced Energy contains about the same caffeine as 2 cups of coffee, and it's all natural caffeine from green tea, too. Whether you're an esports professional, a fitness fanatic, an exam-stressed student, or an ambitious 9-to-5er, Advanced supplements are designed to help you realize your peak potential. Use promo code GLADIUS10 to get 10% off your AdvancedGG purchase while supporting the channel. Link is in the description. Soon, you'll have energy levels that rival even the most unhinged Kimberly players on Ranked, and more flavors to choose from than Street Fighter 6 will ever have balance patches. Thanks for watching the ad. Now back to the video. So now I'm in loser's bracket, and my first match is against an Aki, which is, in my opinion, one of the most painful matchups for Marissa right now. And more than that, it's against Houndcake, who I don't know if I've ever played him in bracket, but we've run a lot of casuals at Go for Broke before, and we go very back and forth. He's an incredibly strong player. And what you are about to see is one of the most insane things that has ever happened to me at an offline tournament. In this first to two of the 3 games feature double perfect KOs, where he and I perfect KO each other in rounds 1 and 2. And this is the first of those. I'm just making a lot of bad guesses, getting hit by a lot of overheads again. I think I need to work on reaction perfect parrying overheads, which is also going to require stand blocking in Season 3 once they require you to be correctly crouch or stand blocking to get the full perfect parry freeze after the patch. So that's something I need to work on. But I went, alright, it's just round 1, I can still adapt. I get him off the drive rush cancel. He did something after I drive rush cancel my medium punch, caught him with the crouch medium punch, hit confirmed into combo. Frame trap after the charge Gladius. Successfully baited the drive reversal. I could have killed there if I'd gone for the right combo, but I've been dropping the drive rush medium kick into back heavy a lot lately, and I just didn't want to have another weird drop after what just happened against Rashid. So I didn't kill, but I got the next combo, got the perfect KO anyway. Weird drop there from him. I wasn't sure how negative he was, so I just went with a fast button to capitalize on it. I got a good read there on the command grab. However, since I knew I had jumped the command grab successfully and that the jump in was going to hit, I should have routed into back heavy punch, quarter circle back heavy, instead of medium punch target combo OD quarter circle back, because it would have saved me some meter. Granted, I still have a lot of meter here, but it's just the more optimal route, and I'm noticing that in hindsight. I'm very uncomfortable just dealing with Aki's range control, because she can OD fireball and just drive rush behind it, or she can whip, which controls a lot of the screen. However, he was doing a lot of whip, and what you saw there was, yes, modern reactions, but also the hardest of reads. I knew he would whip at that range. If he had whiffed a jab and I had level 3'd on reaction, I would have gotten screwed. But I knew it was going to be a whip. I twitch reacted and I was right. Unfortunately, he got a huge combo after. I don't think the drive reversal there was a terrible decision, but I'm perilously close to burnout. I risked another jump in I shouldn't have. I went for another drive reversal. Now I'm in chip range against a character with really good fireballs and just got counter hit trying to Mario my way out of the situation. Poor drive meter management, too much jumping. But we go into game 2. That was the wrong range for me to Gladius. If I'd been in the right range, he would have parried it, and if he had not been reflexively parrying, he could have whiff punished it, so not good. But I do get another Gladius there. He calls out the fact that the heavy punch target combo can be interrupted, drive rushes into another overhead. At this point, overheads are just the bane of my existence at this particular tournament. I'm again trying to jump out. There's a lot of discomfort in this matchup for me in terms of what range I want to stand at, because it feels difficult to contest Aki at any range with Marissa, honestly. And the result is that I spend too much time in the air trying to successfully read a fireball or a whip with a jump in. I did get a good combo there. Unfortunately, I did end up getting a reset off the medium punch. I did at least register that he'd bounced out and didn't go for a second medium punch, which would have whiffed and put me in a bad situation, but I lost the round anyway. This is set point for him now. And I am just determined. I'm not going to stop running my game plan. I'm going to get some offense going. I'm trying to read the whip with the Gladius there. Is why you're seeing so much Gladius at such a far range, is I'm trying to catch the whip startup with the Gladius. Good meter management on my part. Didn't burn too much on the combo. Called out with the charge sweep because a lot of people are not going to block low against Marissa because she doesn't really have effective lows. Thankfully, he didn't get anything off that perfect parry because of the spacing. And did I spin the super here to kill? I did. I had a huge life lead, but I'd put myself in burnout, and burnout against Aki is a terrifying place to be. Plus, this was set point for him, and I needed to stay alive in this bracket, especially with this being losers already. So I just spent it, I accepted the risk. Yes, he has a super advantage, but I've taken it to final round. And I'm trying really hard here not to get clipped by the whip, and not to jump at times that are super predictable. There, I did not guess command grab correctly. I spent too much time in this set trying to guess if he would go for the double kicks or the command grab off Aki's slither, where really the correct counter to that is to crouch block and do a delay jab. And then if she does the double kicks, you block the kicks. If she does the command grab, you interrupt the command grab. However, I kept trying to guess, and he started to exploit that when he realized that I was always going to make a hard guess, and he had a chance of winning that 50-50 because I was not doing the option select that put me at lower risk. Really, one of the things I want to be working on Marissa in general is not taking risks where I don't have to. I was talking to Creaky Axe about this the other day because I think his Marissa is just fantastic. And he was saying that it's not that I'm playing Marissa poorly overall. It's not that I don't have a strong understanding of my options and my game plan. A lot of it is just that I do drive rush cancels into guesses where I could be either doing a drive rush cancel into a true string or not doing a drive rush cancel at all. And that instead of panicking and playing really passive when I realize that I need to stop making reckless decisions, I need to continue my pressure, but in a safer way. More forward heavy kick into light gladius on block, more true strings, more safe pokes, not hunkering down so much, because calming down the aggressive offense is a good thing, but ceasing to pressure at all is a bad thing. And I'm really trying to find that balance between calming down the crazy and ceasing to have activity at all. It's kind of the same thing in the corner, really, in a lot of ways. Once I finally convinced myself, you know what, I'm gonna take the throw, fine. Oh my god, I got such good bait there! Did I kill here? I think I dropped this. No, I just went for the reset, so I wouldn't have to spend any super. And again, we have the double perfect. And it goes to final round. But when I'm focused on taking the throw in the corner, I often cease to pay attention to what else they're doing, because all I'm thinking is don't throw tech, don't throw tech, don't throw tech, and they'll just walk up at me or neutral jump at me, and I don't react when I could. So really trying to find that balance between containing my crazier impulses and not just hunkering down and turtling into myself. This final round is largely a story of me trying to continue to run the same stuff that had been working on him in the previous game, and him having adapted to me where I hadn't adapted to him. He was very ready for the jump-ins and for my trying to play around the whip, and was no longer falling for the same frame trap off plus frames scenarios. And I needed to adapt accordingly, slow it down, and see how he was going to approach me. Instead of, I repeatedly try to force my way in here. He doesn't really have to do much besides occasionally fireball, occasionally whip, because I keep trying to do something. And then burning myself out there again on a guess, and he realizes I'm being way too active. Drops his combo. I should have been dead there anyway. Realizes I'm being way too active, baits the modern super. Fantastic awareness from him. But now I'm just continuing to, I'm jumping, I'm phalanxing, I'm panicking, I keep hitting buttons. And he's again focused on the anti-air and takes me out. Am I disappointed in how I played at this tournament? In some ways, yes. 1-2 is a really painful score. But in other ways, I do feel that I am playing better. For one thing, I can get sets off players with Ken very comfortably without feeling completely disembodied and disconnected from a very different game plan and character toolset. I'm feeling increasingly confident picking Ken in certain matchups, in certain scenarios, just to kind of test how the other person plays without running the risk of Marissa's poor defense in a game one, especially in a 1-to-3 scenario like onlines. I really like having Ken as a pocket, so I'm happy about that. With Marissa, I am feeling more confident overall, but I'm definitely seeing repeated specific mistakes that are less so, oh, I dropped this combo even though that did happen, or oh, I should have gone for the other route, and much more so that I am not transitioning well, as I said, between offensive and defensive modes, and that when I stop playing crazy, I have a tendency to stop playing at all. So I'm going to be focusing on running my reaction drills continually, very heavily in the lab to improve my anti-airs, my DI reactions, my whiff punishes, all the things that I've just been saying, well, I can't react to that in a real match. I'm going to drill it until I can, and I'm going to try to play as many sets as I can against strong players that I know, who will force me to be really light on my feet and adaptive and shifting between offense and defense in order to win. And that is my plan going forward. Yeah, I was sad. I had my little cry. Sometimes you need that in order to reset and enjoy the rest of the day, which I did. But that's how it goes sometimes. I still had a really good time, and catch me at the next tournament.
This is just to say, you are not the first person to cry in a bathroom at the local. You will not be the last person to cry in a bathroom at the local. It's one tournament. There will always be the next one. Trust the process. It's okay. It just means you care. There is nothing to feel ashamed about when you're really, really passionate about something and you work really hard at something and you care.